Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel again. Um, like I say, in my channel, I help you to understand Chinese medicine and a bit of Ayurveda as well, but most of it is Chinese medicine, and use it in your everyday life as well, and help you like understand Chinese medicine, how you can apply it in like everyday life and different situation in life as well, season, different periods of where you are in life. And today it's a very interesting theory and method that we use it in Chinese medicine as well a lot. I use it a lot, and it's the theory of the five elements or the five phases as well. We say that we say it in a different way, but the five elements. And I would like to explain you first how it's working in the nature, and then we can go and utilize it in a different ways as well about your spiritual development, about the mental aspect of your life, the behavior aspect, and so on. But I want you first to deep inside to the basic of it, and then you can understand more and more, because it start very simple, but it can be a bit complicated later on. So all the time stick to the basic things, okay? That's important. And it's this method, I'm all the time I'm be amazed how it's so interesting. Like, let's say I go in the nature in Sweden, and sometimes I see different phenomenon that I connected all the time to the five elements. Let's say we have a lot of lakes here, and the lakes is like, wow, how can they hold themselves, the water all the time in the lake? But I understand that there is stones, metal, crystal under that all the water, and some trees that the roots it's like spreading, and then the earth it's holding the tree not to fall down. And then I will explain you now how does it work in the five elements. And then in the next film I can explain you as well how it's working our in life and the behavior. And because it's like that, the five elements, it's everyone has the five elements inside them, ingredients, five elements, but some one or two elements more dominate the other elements. But let me first explain you how it's work in the nature, and then in the next film I can explain more how it is work in our life, like develop your own, like understand your unbalance and try to correct it. So it's like, if you see here, so we have the five elements. I don't need this. So let's say if we start from we try to understand the quality of every element here. Okay, so in this video we'll try to explain you the quality of it, and it's important as well that this is like the ecosystem in our life. Actually, it's like if one element gets stuck or get unbalanced, the next element suffer from this. So let's say that we have the water, which is the winter, got to do with the winter element. And let's say that we have a winter that's not so cold winter. So the spring is coming too early, and it's not good. It's not good for the crops. It's not good for the nature. It's not good for the human being as well, that we get cold, we get the bacteria and virus because it's not so cold. Let's say now in November, my daughter, she got the ticks, ticks, in Swedish is fasting, tick, here in her shoulder, and she got it in November. And the ticks need to get rid of the ticks in the nature, where I think we need like hate that they will get, that they are not survive in the nature. So it's like all this the environmental change that happened today, it's as well not good for the nature, it's not good for us as well. So if I start from the water element, so I want to start with the positive quality of the water element, or the balance quality of the water element. And the water element is it's like flexible. It's a very like good flow, you know, it's coming, it's not stuck anywhere. It's like if you have a stone in the river, so it's like go around the stone, it's not stacking in a good quality. So I'm outside of the picture all the time, yeah. So this is the water. The water element is like cooling energy as well. It's cooling down, and it's as well nourishment energy in this. But what can happen with if the water element is unbalanced? So it can be like very stormy. Either very stormy, a lot of movements. It can be flood as well, and the opposite as well. If the water is just standing, so it's become like no movement. It's like everything is dies, like staying. It's sluggish. Okay, so the water, it's the good quality of it. It's like the movement, the flexibility. It's cooling. It's go down deep as well. It's a bit like a mystery. It's like going down deep. You know, can go, you know, to the end of the universe in a way, like downward. And the next element we have like it's calling the creating cycle as well. So I will explain you as well, like the water helped to create the wood element. And when you see the wood element, it's like the positive aspect of it, or the balance aspect. It's not positive, negative, but the balance aspect of the wood element, it's like growing, expanding. It's like, I want to grow, I want to reach everywhere. This is the wood element. It's like yeah, expanding, growing. I don't have another words to say more, but it's like, yeah. Okay, it's like outside. But if it's getting unbalanced, it can be very, it's windy, a lot of movement, stormy as well. The water as well is stormy, but the wood element, it's stormy, a lot of wind. Okay? And then the wood create the fire element. The fire element. Wood give nourishment to the fire. And the fire, everyone I think know, it's warm energy, warm, cozy energy. And the unbalance of it, it's heat, it's burning, it's drying energy. I remember in 2018 here in Sweden, it was a lot of very warm in the summer, and it was a lot of forest burning. Get fire in the forest. It was a lot of it, and that's because of the fire got out of the balance. It was too much for it. And then we have the earth element. You see here the earth element. It's an interesting element as well. It's like it's fertile quality of it, fertile, dampness, abundance, nourishment as well. Everything like in the earth, it's like, if you can see here, it's like it's going inside and it's going outside. So it's exactly, it's like give and take, give and take. It's like take nourishment, you know, from the rain, from the minerals, everything, and give back to the plants nourishment. So it's very important element as well. If you remember that I spoke that this is like the earth element, it's in the transitory element between every season. And if it's too much dampness, so it's nothing can grow, you know, it's like it's sluggish, it's like mud, it's like a dough, everything is like, and this is one of the problems as well in the Western world, or over the world. Like we have the overweight. We have too much of the earth element. It's like we have a lot of sluggish. We have things that the body difficult to get rid. But I'm going to talk about it later on. So the fire element, sorry, I forgot the fire element. It's produce the earth element. You know, when this become fire, it's burn and then it's become like ashes, like earth. And from the earth element, we create the metal element. In the nature, the metal element, the earth create the minerals and metals and so on. And the metal elements, its quality of sharpness, cooling quality, it's a contract energy, shrinking energy, it's gathering energy, it's collecting energy. So you see everything, it's the opposite of the wood element, that's the metal element. The wood is like to expand, and the metal is like to hold him back, like that, which is important as well in the nature. Like we cannot all the time expand. We have to go back as well and keep the things that's important and then release the thing that's not important. And the metal element, it's produce the water element. So you see, it's like a beautiful creating cycle all the time. But the problem, like sometimes if we have one element that it's more in the excess and another one, or more in deficiency in the other one, we can create problem in the next element, or the next season, or in the next phase, and so on. So this is very important to understand that as well, and take it with you to the next lecture or video that I'm talking about more about how it's about our physical function, the 5 elements. Because I don't want to get in now to this, because I want you to understand a bit more the basic of the elements. So the same thing, we have the creating cycle, and we have another cycle. It's very, very important to remember. It's controlling cycle, or in Tibetan medicine it's called the friendship cycle. You shouldn't control the cycle. It's sounds a bit harsh to control, but you control the other elements not to get too much of balance. So that's why it's called as friendship as well element. Or it's like, let's say with parents with small kids, that they're getting excited, and so they need the controlling, so that's the way the control cycles are working. We need each other to control each other. So it's not like, wow, it's a very, very bad thing. So let's say that the water controlling the fire, you see here, I can do it in different color. doesn't matter. The water controlling the fire, and the fire controlling the metal, and the metal controlling the wood, and the wood control the earth, and the earth control the water, what we start from. You see here? So it's very interesting. So let's start from the water. The water control the fire. This is very obvious. If it's too little fire, too little water, the fire is getting excited. It's too much. It's like too warm. Heat happen, dryness. And then we have, if it's too much, the fire controlling the metal, isn't it? It's like the metal, the only thing that can move metal, it's to melt it. So the fire melt, control the metal, and the metal control the wood. You know, like an axe. It's like if you have metal, you don't have anything that can go through that. The wood cannot go through that. And then we have the wood that control the earth. You know, all the roots that we have, like the big trees, they're holding the earth in their place. Sometimes when you see like it's raining a lot, so it's a bit like water that flowing, but the roots helping to the earth stay in the place. And then we take the earth controlling the water as well. Okay, because if the water will run, it's like give control, it's give like borders to the water, the earth, and so on. Okay, so this is a very, very important to remember, and in the next video I will explain more how is regarding to our life, to the personal life as well, because the 5 elements, it's very interesting, because in every phase, the water phase, for example, this is the winter phase, and in the winter we have the kidney and the bladder meridians, and then, like I spoke before as well, the gallbladder and the triple wormer meridians as well, the organs. So it's a very, very interesting phenomenon that we can work with it, we can develop ourselves. Like we see here as well, if I look the 5 elements here, I just want to give you a little bit taste of it. It's maybe sounds strange or coming from la 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 land and so on, but I work with this, and I noticed that when I work with acupuncture and use different elements in different points as well, so I can see change in the pulse and in the energy in the person as well. Because what we do, it's like I said, that we try in Chinese medicine, we want to balance everything. So the 5 elements, it's a reflection of what's happening in our body. So let's say in the water element, there are points that represent the 5 elements from all the other elements. So let's say if I want to bring some water element, some fire element to the water, because the water is too cold, it's need a bit warm, so I use a point here that is belong to the fire element, kidney 2, for example, which is interesting. So in the way like that, we can balance as well the 5 elements in every person. and you can balance that as well in you when you understand more and more what's your element, which I'm going to explain in another video. What's your element? Maybe you can notice, let's say if you are like let's say the earth element, the earth people, like they like to give and they give up themselves, and everyone can do, not everyone, but they are like the helpers. And the wood elements people, the one that want to like drive things and so on, but I will get more in deep in another video. Okay, so thank you that you listen, and take care of you, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.